Hey everybody, it's Rachel from Wraps by Rachel, and I am going to be doing another, tearing up of magazines, and I actually have a new system that I'm going to be trying out for the first time. I had gone to Dollar Tree, and you can look and see one of my Dollar Tree hauls, and I got these awesome baskets. They had 3 colors available. They fit a standard magazine with a little bit of room left to right, front to back, and I thought that this would be a really good way to kind of do a pre-sort as I'm doing my magazines. And I actually bought 6 different baskets, but right now I'm only putting my three main categories that I'm going to be doing. So I have backgrounds, I have faces, and I have words and letters. And so as I do my harvest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pre-sort for the 3 things, and anything that doesn't fit into there, just going to put to the left. And let's just see how that goes. For example, this is something I had cut out some of the words here for a different project and went ahead and glued that down. But I do also want to go ahead and use either her face or her face and her body. I'm not sure if I want to really use kind of like this. Ask her your questions, but as a general statement, what is mainly on here is the face. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my faces category. And another thing that I don't remember exactly where I saw this from, but somebody else was doing a magazine harvest, and they had put some washi tape down for this is where the magazine needs to be in frame. And I thought, oh my God, that is completely brilliant, because the magazines kind of want to naturally drift sort of left or right as you're doing the ripping. And so this is just going to help me stay largely in frame. Okay. So I have a really big stack of magazines. If you saw one of my last videos, I talked about how I had gone on a thrift store haul, and then I got a whole bunch of magazines for free, and some of them I've already gone ahead and utilized, but I'm going to go ahead and keep plowing through. We're going to plow through as many as I can, kind of estimating that I'm going to be going for about an hour with this haul, because anything more than that, and my phone doesn't like anything more than an hour. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to move my glasses because I'm wearing another set on my face. So first I'm going to start with a stack of Vanidades, and it's like really a shame that maybe I can scrape that off. Not sure what that is that's on there, but yeah, I'm able to scrape that off. And I'm going to go ahead and tear this. I kind of, what I'm going to do is, like, let's say I'm just going to do words. These baskets are so big that I'm worried that stuff is just going to get immediate lost. So I'm just going to leave it. I like these letters. I like these letters. And I like La Vida Secreta. So those are things that I'm going to use. We'll put that in there. Okay, so not sure exactly what I am going to find, but feeling like there's... And you never know what's going to come out of my mouth when I'm doing a haul. So I'm just going to babble about various things. Kind of like in this watch here. I'll just kind of put that right there. These pages seem kind of thick. Let me use that for background. Okay. Like that for a background. Oh, so hopefully everyone is, today is Saturday. It's Saturday evening. I amazingly have tomorrow off. I'm tearing this out of like all these kind of different little jewelries here. I'm just going to put that to the side. I actually, this is kind of weird. Kind of digging this sort of, it's almost like, let's see, number 3, what is that? That is Modelo de Poste. It's Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where that's from, but I'll put that to the side. Kind of liking Sofia de Vergara. Anyhow, so I was working today, and I will have tomorrow off. My husband has already gone to bed, and this is just like the perfect time for me to rip magazines and do all of that, and not bother him if he's trying to watch TV. And there we go. Okay. So I am being a little bit more selective, and I've got my water here. Being a little more selective because I actually have a lot of things that I've already harvested and that I need to sort. I'm liking her hair in this sort of wiggle doodle. I don't know what you would call that, but we're going to call it a wiggle doodle. I'm liking this kind of like Queen Elizabeth the First. Right. So getting a lot of faces out of this one, a lot of people. So you can see this is from 2014, this particular magazine. Kind of liking these, and it's nice because I can cut those words out. Ooh, what's going on with that one? That is very interesting. Well, anyhow, as I said, I'm going to try and be a little bit more selective. I've got a lot of things, so there's just a lot. This, I don't know how well you can see that, but she has like a little hat that's made out of like antlers, and I also like this swirly hair here. That's pretty cool. Go ahead and take Jane Austen. I like this hat. What I don't want is I'm just gonna rip the actual little perfume sample out because I don't want the smell. Because you never know what exactly I'm gonna do with things, whether it's gonna be for myself, whether it's gonna be something that is like a journal or multimedia, something or another that perhaps I will sell on my Etsy shop. My Wraps by Rachel on pretty much every sort of platform. Anyhow, so I just don't want the little perfumey sample because you just never know whether somebody else has sensitivities, and I try to be just really mindful of such things. So that looks delicious. If you ever buy panettone, it makes the most delightful French toast. It is. So here they are. They're making it into French toast. It is just completely delightful. I'm going to see if I can kind of turn this light down just a little bit because I feel like there's a little bit of a glare. Probably should have checked that before I was doing stuff, but that would just make way too much sense. So I'm kind of kicking things. Maybe that's a little better right there. Let's take a peek, shall we? A little bit better. Could be that this magazine is just super shiny. I like Grandma here. Abuelita. Yellow for like a background. Remember this sort of slim shaker, and the idea is that you were supposed to sprinkle this, God knows what the hell was in it. You're supposed to sprinkle this stuff on your food and then like you weren't going to gain weight, yeah, that lasted really long. If something like that was actually a thing, everybody would be very slender. Don't, you know, if it sounds too good to be true, people, it's going to be too good to be true. So, yeah. Okay, moving along here. A little novella here. I don't know whether the person who had this magazine before, who used to have Loser, L-O-S-S-E-R. I am very entertained by that. I don't think that was originally part of the magazine, but that is hilarious. Wow. Wow. That is too much fun. Okay. And tear that out. And I'm just gonna put my magazines to the side because I will be using them for like spine art. Okay, there we go. There's that watch again. I'll go ahead and so I'm gonna put the two watches together in my little pile here. I don't know how many other times if I find that, will I use it again? And the answer is I don't really know. Maybe. I'm kind of liking whatever that is going on there. That is just kind of cool. Liking her. Liking her. Kind of comparing this particular magazine to almost like a liking these words here. Kind of comparing this to almost like a Cosmo, but in Spanish. I like this corazones grandes y chicos, so that's big and small hearts. Deep cleaning, limpieza profunda, and desnudo, that means nude. So nude skin effect. Like those words there. Like this word Bella, or Bea, as that would be pronounced in Spanish. But I also kind of like this. I'll just put that like that. Ooh, look at her. Wow. Oh, I love this sort of silver, sparkly. I am loving everything about that. Yes. Now, I know that some people really like kind of that ASMR kind of magazine harvest, but I got a big mouth. What can I say? And I like to talk. I'm trying to kind of do something that's sort of in the middle there, where maybe sometimes I shut up. Sometimes I'm babbling my mouth, kind of the best of both worlds. I don't know. know what? I'm kind of liking these dresses that are not on anything. And I know it sounds weird, but I'm gonna kind of put it with the faces because I feel like I can kind of use them like paper dolls, and I don't know, they're my categories. I can do whatever I want, right? That sounds good. I can do whatever I want. This is kind of a weird perspective picture. Kind of cartoony. I like this squirrel jumping, and this man, his butt is very sort of pronounced. We're just gonna put that with the faces. Like these big letters, they're kind of a good size. Stick that there. Grandma again. I don't think I need her more than once. Like these horoscope drawings. Is that Julia Roberts? I think it is. I'm going to say that I'm really not particularly a Julia Roberts fan. I think that her really big, wide smile is too wide for me, but it doesn't kind of fit on her face, if you ask my opinion. But that might be really easy to kind of cut out, so we will do that. Okay, moving along here. Loving the colors. Those pretty ladies. This might be Jessica Alba. Not sure. I mean, she's pretty. I think it's Jessica Alba. I could be completely wrong. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That apparently is Shakira. I was completely wrong. But I like the background that she's against, and I kind of like that. There you go. Pretty in pink ladies. Their dresses are really quite beautiful, but yeah. So I'm being a little more selective. Something really, really has to jump at me for me to harvest it, because actually really like this. Like that is really, that is a gorgeous dress. Take her. Mickey Rooney. You know, I'm trying to think, am I ever going to use Mickey Rooney? I kind of like that picture, though. I like her face there with Judy Garland. Maybe. Maybe. Because there's a lot of different images on there. I love this Mediterranean picture. I love the statue here with Poseidon, and he's all naked and all the naked babies. That's amazing. Definitely. Like this picture right here, because the way she's like holding her dress, it feels almost like how like Cinderella kind of scooped up her dress and was running at the end, towards the end of Cinderella. I'm gonna use that for like a Cinderella journal. I am loving this robot. That's pretty awesome. Next, Vanidades. I am liking everything about this. I love the nail polish. I love the rainbows here. Her hands look almost like it's like a mannequin. It just doesn't even, it is so photoshopped that it looks like mannequin hands. Doesn't even look like real hands. I love the sunglasses. I love everything about that picture. And I am loving this flowing, cascading hair. This is gorgeous. Here's another, let's see if we can find the other one of that. Look at that. I found it almost immediately, because I'm that way. I don't think I need any more than 2 of those. I think even 2 of them is a little strange. Liking her with the cat ears and her little leopard shorts. That's adorable. I love this flower background, and I like her, this sort of pink and these big curls. This is really easy to kind of work with here. And there's her again, looking extra pretty. The first picture I like better, but I like both of them. This crazy hat, I'm gonna call it a fascinator. I think that they call that type of hat. It is wild. And I love that. I like this with this red dress. I love how long and lean she is. She is fierce. And I am loving this with the little hair. It's not quite a hat. Butterflies. This, I love the draping of this. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Beatlemania, 50 years. Honestly, those are some of the most boring pictures of the Beatles, and so I am not taking that. You know, if there are halfway decent, exciting pictures, I would take it, because I am a huge Beatles fan. Love it. Yeah, if I'm in the car, I am listening to the Beatles channel. It is very rare for me to change it off. So I pulled this once, I'm not going to pull it again. I know just about every Beatles song and sing my little heart out every time I'm in the car. Because that's a thing. So, my goodness, is a yawn. That was rude. I am not famous anymore. This little, let me see that. It says, I am not famous anymore. Yeah, so my whole life I've kind of had this, you know, affinity with the Beatles, and both of my children were actually born to Beatles music, and I labored to Beatles music. That was actually husband number one's idea. One of the few things that are just really good memories about him, and we're still friends and everything. We still, you know, are friendly to each other. But yeah, both of my children were born to Beatles music. My son was born to When I'm 64. That's just kind of how that worked out. We really wanted him to be born to Here Comes the Sun. And he was born in 1997. And so we had like kind of one of those jam box kind of things. And the jam box, you could put 3 different CDs in it. I'm just totally dating myself. So you could put 3 CDs in there, and you could shuffle it, and it would just pick music off of the, you know, randomly off of those CDs. I like that. And so I like her nose too. I like her mouth. I wish it wasn't, you know, cut off, but it is. So there we go. Anyhow, so you could put 3 CDs in there, and then it would just kind of randomize, because originally we were going to have him, you know, we wanted him to be born to Here Comes the Sun. So part of the story with that is, 1, we like that song, but 2, we had chosen not to tell anybody what we were going to have, whether it was a boy or a girl, and so we wanted him to be born to Here Comes the Sun. And originally it seemed like, you know, I was laboring along, and husband number one put Here Comes the Sun on like repeat, and that song must have played like 20 times, and I was like, you know what, you need to get this off, okay? And put it on shuffle, and if that song is what he is born to, then that's great. And if he's not, that's fine too, because all 3 CDs that we brought are songs that I like, and I can't just do the same song over and over and over again. So he was not born to Here Comes the Sun. he was born to when I'm 64. All right, so fast forward to my daughter, and 2.5 years afterwards, and when she was born to oh my goodness, all of a sudden it just went out of my head. It'll come to me. She'll be like, Mom, I can't believe you just totally blanked out on my song. But yeah, all of a sudden I just blanked out on her song, because like that's a thing. So that that kind of thing happens with the second kid, right? You remember every single little thing about the first kid, and not about the second kid. I do remember what song she was born to, and normally I can like be like that, but I just, this is what happens when you get older, right? My kids are adults now. Okay. How are we doing here? I'm kind of liking whatever this is and whatever that is. This is laboratory something or other, and hepatitis of hep C, and cirrhosis of the liver. So, but I kind of dig those images. Horoscope lady. Okay, so that's all the Vanidades. We're moving along to women's health. And immediately I am loving this badass with the heart right now. We can save you. Keep him off forever. There's, yeah, that is pretty nice right there. When I get old and losing my hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine? See, I don't own rights to any of these songs, but I'm just that person who's singing it. Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. It's a song that fits him. Beware of hugs. What? Pause up. He's saying, pet me, please. Whoa. Not bad for a picture. Staring down that bowl. Yeah. Look at that. Right there, that's really pretty. Rocking and rolling. Kind of use that more for like a background. That. Not sure how well you can see that, but it's like all like gold foil all over her. Kind of cool. Kind of like this with the paintbrush, and not sure if that's supposed to be wax or probably. I like that. Hungry for food tips you can trust. Any of those words, I like it. Yeah. Now that's a beautiful thing. I have taken this many times before. I probably have 3 or 4 of those. And I like it, but real kick in the brass. I'm debating whether this is a background or whether this is for words, and I think I'm going to go with words. Oh, yeah. How to be unbreakable. Rebecca was born to Here Comes the Sun. Here comes the sun. No, she wasn't. That's what I wanted Zach to be born to. Oh my God, old lady, what is my freaking problem? It'll come to me. She will rag on me something fierce for not remembering and for screwing it up. Good mood, enough sleep, distractions, and eureka. I'm liking all of that. Here we have badass with the heart. There. You know, if I cut that out well, I can use it for both. Like a healthy home, the beginning, and what comes next is everything. Cool. I do like that though. Pick up a book and drift away. And I like these little birds. I'll use this as a background instead. Kind of like this badass here, boxing. It's pretty cool. Like this, not one grain of doubt. That, the cat and the wild cat. I also like this runner. I'm going to take it for that. Right at the end of the run. Make this run happy, get some fresh air, step to the beat, keep your head up. Runner's high is earned. Whoa. Well, I'm liking that pregnant belly. A story about, you know, prenatal violence. Really important topic. But I like the pregnancy pictures here. All right, next, women's health. I like fit, strong, and lean. Wake up happy. Happiness is covered in ranch. Hell yes, it is. I don't trust anybody who doesn't like ranch. Ha 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 ha. Of course I do. Oh, I like her. That's adorable. She's like a real person. Oh my goodness. It says, after spending 4 years in a vegetative state, gold medalist and motivational speaker, shows the incredible power of keeping the faith. That's pretty spiffy. I like that. How cute is that? Adorable. Like this, cool and still cool. Discuss. Celebrate. Digging this surfer. Awesome as she. That's amazing. Those cool sunglasses and kind of in a rainbow. That's pretty awesome. Sweat stinks. Don't need to take that though. Liking these bathing suits. Oh, interesting picture. Breathtaking while breath holding. I kind of like it this way too. Either way. Bathing suits I can stick on people like paper dolls. Pictures of really strong, athletic women. That used to be me a million years ago. So when I was married to husband number one, I was very unhappy. I gained a lot of weight and I decided I was going to lose weight. So I took up running, and within 1 year, I went from being like 0 fitness to running a 10K and then running a half marathon and then running a full marathon. I love this lady with her face in the cake. Stress eat much? Yes. Anyhow, just gonna kind of straighten all this stuff out here because I can. Yeah, so when I was married to husband number 1, I took up running, and part of it, in all honesty, was a way to get out of the house and get away from him, because I was just really unhappy, and it was just no fun. I was miserable, and running further and further distances gave me a lot of time to think about things and try to figure out what the hell I wanted to do with my life and how was I going to achieve it. And yeah, so I wound up running in 6. Is that awesome or what? Wound up running in 6 different full marathons. My fastest marathon time was 4 hours, 51 minutes, and some odd seconds. And I realized that, I was always at the back of the pack, which is fine. But there were always people behind me, so that was fine too. But, like, I'm super inspired by stuff like that. When I left him, almost immediately after I left him, it's just this series of really bad things that started happening to me. I got really, really sick. And I literally went from, I had 2 marathons that I literally ran back to back. They're about 2 weeks apart. And so in 1 month, I ran 2 marathons 2 weeks apart. And then a week after that, like, I could barely get out of bed. And, various friends were saying things like, well, Rachel, you overdid it. You shouldn't have run 2 marathons back to back, that sort of thing. You just overdid it. Your body needs to rest. And that was not the problem. I developed what's called pernicious anemia, which I kind of was in this like sort of weird autoimmune explosion, and my body like stopped absorbing vitamin, not only vitamin D, but my body also stopped absorbing vitamin B12. And practically overnight, like I could barely get out of bed, and it was so bizarre, and I could barely catch my breath, and it was just like I knew something was wrong. And I went to a doctor, and the first thing that they said to me was, well, Rachel, you're still fat. Gee, thanks. I lost 100 pounds and basically just a little bit over a year, and I'm running full marathons, but thanks for telling me that I am still fat. And yeah, I'm never going to be an underwear model. And putting my face in the camera, I said to the doctor, I am never going to be an underwear model, and you know what? I am okay with that. I don't have to be an underwear model. I don't need to be in the cover of a magazine. I am who I am. I'm very happy with myself. And I am telling you that something is wrong. And I got blown off. So what did I do? I went to marched my happy/unhappy ass to another doctor. And I told this other doctor, here's what's happening. And I literally brought my medals from the marathon, the 2 marathons that I just ran. And pictures of me from like, that I had a friend like email me. She had come and, to support me in the race, and took pictures of me. And I was like, look, this is me, like, 2 months ago. And now I can barely get through my day. I can barely go to work, all that kind of stuff. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but something is wrong. And that doctor actually listened to me, and he said, I'm going to run all these tests on you. I'm going to run a whole metabolic panel. I'm going to run all kinds of crazy tests on me. And it turned out that my vitamin D was so low that, it was amazing. I could function. So, but then my B12 was so low that, another point or two lower, because they measure from like 0 to whatever the maximum number is. And I want to say that any number under 10, and you literally start, B12 is an essential vitamin. You have to have it in your body to survive. And my level was 15. And anything under 10, and you start having psychosis. These are medical facts. And so this doctor started me on B12 shots and prescription vitamin D. And within a month, I was back to my normal self. But I'm just going to go back to ripping up magazines here. So that happened to me. And so I was told no, don't start exercising yet. When, don't resume exercising. When I was given permission to resume exercising, I tore my calf muscle in a freak accident, basically. Tore my calf muscle. And, yeah. Then I couldn't exercise. I also wound up having a lot of female problems, and, yeah. Okay, this is a Victoria's Secret magazine. I'm never going to look like this. I'm never going to have abs like this. I'm never going to be slender like this. I'm okay with that, but yeah, I'm never going to be an underwear model. Okay, so moving along. Yeah, so I had a series of all kinds of problems where I tore my calf muscle. I had the pernicious anemia. What else happened to me? I had a series of female problems. I had, you name the uterine surgery, and I had it. Meanwhile, I'm in the process of trying to go through a divorce, and it was the worst. Wow, there's a butt in your face. Sorry about that. Woo, there's a butt in your face. Okay. Ooh. Look at that. Not so basic. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous texture. I love it. I had a ablation. I had hysteroscopy. I had a DNC. I had to have multiple blood transfusions. I had, you name the uterine surgery, and I had it. And I was, as I said, I had to have a couple of blood transfusions in the process. I mean, I was so sick. And even if I wanted to exercise, I couldn't. Everyone loves a tease. We'll leave those words there. I couldn't exercise even if I wanted to. And basically, I was doing my best just to stay alive, quite frankly. And it was awful. And every time I have tried to get back into shape, again, something has happened. I twisted my ankle really, really badly. I broke bones in my foot. It's like, for the life of me, I can't win. So I gained quite a bit of weight back. I basically gained back almost all the weight that I lost in the first place, and that sucks. What are you gonna do, But now that I've told you all that, personal stuff, and I'm not ashamed of any of it. if you have a feeling that something is wrong, you need to go to a doctor, and don't take, oh, well, you're female, or oh, you're fat, or, gee, you're in the process of getting a divorce. You're just depressed. No wonder you don't want to get out of bed. No wonder you don't want to exercise anymore, because you're going through a divorce. Well, no, that, screw you. That is not why. Keep moving in gear. Keep moving in gear that won't, keep it moving in a gear that won't hold you back. Yes. Right there. Dig it. Don't take that bullshit for an answer. Just don't. Find another doctor. Find several doctors until you figure out what is going on. So I have to take vitamin D for the rest of my life, and I need to take B vitamins for the rest of my life. Once I got those straightened out, and for like a year, I was on B12 shots, and you do not want B12 shots. I mean, the needle is like that big, right? And you have to stick that needle and jam it right into your thigh, and it practically hits your thigh bone. I mean, that is literally, I'm not exaggerating, how big that needle is, and it is a fat needle. And the vitamin B12 is a really thick, kind of viscous formulation. I mean, that's just what it is. And so you do not want that. It stuns me when you see these advertisements for, there's another butt in your face. Okay. It stuns me when you see advertisements for like weight loss clinics, and they say things like, we'll give you our best vitamin B12 shot. And I just think, well, what the hell is that? Do you get only, the size 10 needle instead of the size 12 needle? Because you need a really big fat needle to inject that into your body. And it's painful, and it's no fun, and hopefully you don't hit a nerve and make yourself vomit because you accidentally struck a nerve, and the pain and dizziness of all that. Ask me how I know how that can happen, right? Sun your buns. Sun your buns. We'll put that as a background. Okay. Yeah, our best B12 shot. Boy, I wish I had the best B12 shot. But yeah, so I had to do B12 shots. Like, at first it was like every 3 days for like, I forget how long. And then we switched the protocol for me to every once a week, and then it was like once every 2 weeks, and then it was once a month, and I did that for like 2 years, something along those lines, and eventually I was able to then taper off the amount of the B12 that I was giving myself, and then I was able to not do it at all. And so whenever I go and get blood work done, they always check my B12, because that weird pernicious anemia, like, that could come back. And I know what that feels like, and I don't want that in my life. Neither do you. It is just it's a weird, completely different kind of exhaustion. And honestly, I don't wish that, like, on my enemies. It was so awful. But yeah, so the reason I'm telling this whole story is because I'm still inspired by women who kick ass and are exercising, and I need to get that back in my life. Because right now I really have no reason not to be exercising. But, okay, moving on to Cosmo, all right? Why being strong isn't bitchy. Indeed. Right? All right. Put that there. Oops, didn't mean to bump that. Well, I met husband number 2, who is honestly one of the greatest things that has ever happened to me. He is an absolutely amazing man. And so we are doing things like we are going to take walks after dinner together now that the weather is much better. But it's hard because, you know, I would rather stay in bed on days where the two of us happen to be in bed at the same time, and I would rather be in bed with him than get up early and go to the gym and leave him. So it's almost like, I'm so happy I don't want to go to the gym because I would rather be with my man. But yeah, I need to get my ass back to the gym. I'm not sure if running is something that, you know, is, I mean, something that's good for me at this point. I think I need to kind of build up to a certain level of just fitness, because I am so, and that's what happened the first time. I started out with walking, and I was like walking on my lunch break at work, and just getting out of the house and walking. And then I started going to the gym and lifting weights and getting on the elliptical machine. And, you know, with COVID and everything, like, the idea of going to the gym has been kind of scary. But, yeah, I need to get back into that for sure. Because being overweight sucks. And, you know, I'm just never gonna get to, like, even when I got down to my thinnest, like, I got down to, like, I think I got down to, it was like 185 pounds, which was still about 20 pounds over my my high school graduation weight. Smile like you mean it. I was still like 25 pounds over my high school weight. And I was able to get into like a size 10 or maybe a 12, like depending on you know, what brand or whatever, or what cut. But I got to being like a size 12, which still is not particularly slender. Protect the moments that matter the most. Yes, you should. And I am not synthetic. I'm thinking that's a background. Yeah, I you know, I still had quite a bit of weight on me, and you know, I had a lot of like loose skin and all of that, and I was debating. I actually went in for a consultation to talk to a plastic surgeon about getting the excess skin that I have around my middle, having that removed, and then also I have what's called diastasis recti, and it's like, thanks, baby number 2, because with you, baby number 2, I was able, I don't know what this is with the shoe and the dynamite, but I like it. Neat. Okay. The muscles, like, so, okay, so if like this is that line in your stomach, and then like boom, 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 there's your six pack. So my muscle this way separated, and so like I have this pooch that you know, from just stuff poking through. And the worst thing that you can do is to do sit-ups, because that actually just makes the muscle like separate more and more once that muscle has been separated. So like the only way you can fix that is surgically. And it's considered to be cosmetic. It is, you know, not something that is like life-threatening or anything, you know, along those lines. And so I would have to pay for that out of pocket. All right, I'm liking that. That was one of the things that big sighs, you know, these things that are kind of hard to say out loud, but, you know, maybe if me saying this like helps other women, so be it. I'm really liking that picture, by the way. Not sure whether to put that in faces or backgrounds, so we'll just put that right there. After I had lost 100 pounds and I had kept it off for like, you know, 6 months or something, I went to try and see a, you know, went to go and ask about having that fixed. And so the surgeon was like, you know, if we do this, it is, you know, don't get me wrong, this is going to be incredibly painful. It's going to be an incredibly hard recovery. You are not going to be able to exercise for 3 months. This is before, you know, my life went to shit. It's going to be really hard, right? And you're gonna hate me, and you're gonna think that you made a mistake, and you're gonna think that I screwed up your surgery and that I tightened everything up too much. It's gonna literally feel like you are wearing a girdle that is 3 sizes too small, and that you're wearing 10 girdles on top of that. It is really, really gonna hurt you. But then once everything heals, you're gonna be happy, okay? But you're never going to be an underwear model. And I was like, well, I'm okay with that. Anyhow, the point of this is it was going to basically cost me $10,000 out of pocket to have this, this surgery to fix this loose skin and diastasis recti. And honestly, I was kind of mad about the whole thing because I had thought that maybe insurance might pay for it because I had lost all this weight. And, you know, I've heard stories about people, they lose weight and their insurance pays for them to have this skin tightening, excess skin removal. And the surgeon said to me, well, Rachel, if you had gastric bypass surgery, then your insurance would, and you lost all the weight because you had gastric bypass surgery, then your insurance would pay for the skin removal surgery. And they wouldn't necessarily pay for the diastasis recti repair, but they would pay for, you know, the skin tightening part. And so it would only cost you like $4,000 out of the $10,000 out of pocket to have this surgery. And in all honesty, and this is going to sound really horrible for me to say this, and I'm not a horrible person, but I was pissed. I was so mad. And I was like, are you telling me that if I hadn't have worked my butt off, literally, and I would have had gastric bypass surgery, and then just let the gastric bypass surgery just do all the work for me, that I could have had this surgery paid for? But because I did it with sweat and blood and vomiting, like not vomiting because I was bulimic, but like sometimes I would work out so hard that if I didn't eat food like enough, like I would throw up. Blood and sweat and vomit. and work my butt off. And literally I was working out up to 4 hours a day on an average day. I would get up in the morning and work out for 2 hours before I would go to work. And then I might work out for 2 hours after my children went to sleep. And because that's what I did, I had to pay for everything myself. All right, so I made a spreadsheet and I kept it. Okay, well, if, our family doesn't go on a vacation for a couple of years, and if I, there was like a payment plan kind of thing that could help you pay for this cosmetic surgery, and I would be able to utilize like flex spending money, and all of that. So, okay, remove this really carefully here. Trying to get the perfume sample off. I love that. Love it. Okay. So I approached husband number one with my spreadsheet, and I said, I have figured it out that, this is how much money goes into my flexible spending account. And if I do the flexible spending account and we don't go on vacation and, all of that, then I can have this surgery and I will be a much happier person and I will be a much happier wife. And husband number one basically told me to go to hell. And he said, absolutely not. He was not going to suffer. That was his exact words. It's amazing that I still talk to him and that I'm still somewhat friendly with him. But he said that he was not going to suffer and not have a vacation for a few years because I was a vain person, and besides, he didn't care if I had loose skin or a stomach pooch, and it didn't bother him. So the answer was no. And don't ask me again about this. Oh, and I was also obviously going to need to take quite a bit of time off of work, and so that was going to involve some money lost to the family. And then he was like, absolutely not. You just you're not allowed to do that. What a horrible person I am for even suggesting it and making him suffer. And yeah, so add all that to the pile of reasons that man is an ex-husband. And I said, you know what? I gotta leave. Okay. That was pretty much that moment where I'm like, this marriage is over because you can't support me. One time during no, I'm gonna take that back. I was at like I'm gonna say 30 different between like 10K, half marathon, and full marathons. I probably ran in 30. And only twice did he come to theoretically cheer me on, and brought the kids, because I was like, hey, can you, because I can't bring the kids and watch them while I'm running this race. And it was always a pain in his ass to do that and bring the kids and all about that. So yeah, twice my children came to cheer mommy on, and yeah, so just like I said, add it to the pile. added to the pile of reasons that that man is an ex-husband. Yeah. That was probably way more than you wanted to hear about. But that's okay. I mean, I'm a real person, and I'm talking to you like, you know, like I would, you know, just talk to a friend, and I like wishing on a dandelion. And then there's some other words in the back of here, but mostly I'm going for wishing on a dandelion. Yeah. I stayed in that marriage way longer. I'm going to say for the last, I was married for 19 years, 20 years by the time the divorce went through. And the last 10 years of that marriage, I mean, I was so miserable. And here's the reality. You never get that time back, right? You never get that time back. And so this is the advice that I give my children. Okay, so my kids, my son was going to be a freshman in high school, and my daughter was starting middle school when I left that marriage. And that's creepy with these masks. Kind of digging the creepy though. I'm going to cover the twisted sexual life, secret life, whatever. But yeah, creepy. This one too. Yeah, so my kids were starting middle school and high school when I left. And part of the reason that I said, you know what, I got to leave is that I was really worried that I had basically done irreparable damage to my kids, where they had spent the majority of their lives, where like they can remember, seeing their mom and dad in a very dysfunctional relationship, and that I was hurting them. That they would never have healthy relationships. And this is my last magazine here. I'm going a little bit longer than I wanted to. Puppy. Yay. So anyhow, I was just concerned that I was hurting them, and that they didn't know what a true good relationship was, and that they were going to have, you know, they had crappy role models. And here they were starting high school and middle school, and it's like, this is the time for me to go. So I did. And they're adults now, and you know, hopefully, you know, that they are happy. And anybody who says, oh, you know, you should stay together for the kids. No, when I talk to my kids about it, they're like, you know what, we knew that you guys needed to get a divorce. You were just always jerks to each other. You were always fighting, and we could hear you fighting all the time, and it was horrible. And yeah, kids should not be exposed to that. So the advice that I now give my children, and I will give this advice to anybody: if you are in a relationship, whether you're married or you're not married, but my God, if you're not married and you're in a terrible relationship, you need to get out. Okay. Hands, put that there. If you are married, so I'm assuming you're married. If you are married and you are in a terrible relationship and you are unhappy, and you have been unhappy for 1 year, then you owe it to yourself, and quite frankly, you owe it to your partner, and you owe it to your children, to say to that person, you know what, we've got problems. I have been unhappy for a year, and I think that, you know, we need to work on these problems, and see how that person, you know, takes to such statements. But basically, if you're unhappy for a year, then that's the point where you need to approach that person and say, then you've been unhappy for a year. And then from that point, you are basically setting a clock, and you are giving yourself one more year. As I bang things, sorry about that. You were giving yourself one more year. And if you have not resolved your problems, and if you are still unhappy 1 year, so now we're at the 2-year mark, right? We gave you a year to be unhappy. We gave you a year to work on the problems together as a couple. And if it is still not working, then that is the point where you need to move towards a divorce, because you never get that time back. You never get that time back. I had 10 years where I was not happy, and I will never get that time back. And life is short, and you should be happy. And that is more than enough time to work on a problem. And, you know, and I'm not saying, you know, immediately leave a marriage. That is more than enough time to work on a problem. And if it is not happening for you, then you owe it to yourself, and you also owe it to that other person to, there's the perfume ad is like going to cut into her face, to be happier. And you know what? I remarried, he remarried, and we are both infinitely happier with each other. We are infinitely nicer to each other than we used to be. We are better people, and we are now in much healthier relationships, and our kids now see us in healthier relationships, and the whole family is happier. Look at those flowers. Like these flowers too. We're almost at the end of this magazine. You had no idea when we started this that these were going to be some of the things that I was going to talk about. I had no idea that these were going to be some of the things that I was going to talk about. Hopefully I didn't bore you or make you mad, or I don't know, anything like that. Hopefully the things that I say, you know, if it doesn't apply to you, maybe it's advice that you could, you know, if you have a friend or a sister, or, you know, somebody in your family who is either having health problems or having marital problems, and just needs some advice. Keep it real and make it simple. Yeah. Okay. So I'm putting this to the side. I still have quite a number of magazines here, but this went on a little bit longer than I wanted. I'm putting my shiny face in the camera. You know, hey, if you stuck around with me for this long, thank you so much. I made some progress on my magazine harvest, but hopefully you found some value here. If you did, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, give me some comments. Hopefully I wasn't too much of a negative Nancy, but I am really in a much better place in my life now, and am remarried, and I'm happy, and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. And it is late, and I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. So I will be doing more magazine harvest and other crafting things and sorting papers and all of that. All right. Have a great evening. Thanks so much. Bye. I love you all.